So, wanted to show you what happened with my Paperpot transplanted lettuce. Super sad. I didn't get these planted deep enough into the top compost layer down to the soil. You know, if you don't get your plugs all the way down to the soil level, they don't get the water that's retained in the soil. And if that compost layer dries out too much, your plants are gonna die. I mean, look at that. So many of these have shriveled up and died along this whole row. I mean, granted, I still have a few that are alive, but the bulk through here have shriveled up and died. And it's a sad thing, you know. You grow these things, you get them started, been tending to them for weeks, and then I transplant them in, and within 3 days now? Within 3 days they're dead. Doesn't help that I'm on a water restriction already this year, where I'm only able to water 2 times a week. So, I mean, they just didn't survive. So, wanted to share that. When you're using the Paperpot transplanter, make sure it gets all the way down to the soil level. And when you're transplanting any plugs, a lot of these were transplanted plugs by hand. I dug every single one of these down to the soil level, and you can see that because their roots are touching the soil, they haven't had any issues whatsoever. Compost is great on top, but you have to dig down when you're transplanting to that actual soil level where it's nice and moist down there. And those roots, when they're touching that, that's great. They'll survive, no problem. But you have to get through that soil level, or that compost level down to the soil, and that's what'll help your start survive. This compost provides the microbiology that you want in the soil, and provides a weed barrier. So this no-till method will be fantastic. But you must, when you transplant into this, get those roots of your plugs all the way through. See, I transplanted these as well as cilantro, and it doesn't look like any of the cilantro has had issues. So, yeah, disappointing. I need to get better watering on here. I've only got this, and I'm moving it around on my watering day so it can water for a couple hours in each spot. I've got issues because I'm not reaching everything. Just taking a look at my tomatoes, they're looking dry and sad. Look at these. You're so sad, you need water. So I'm gonna get this sprinkler moved and get things watered, but I gotta get that stuff watered over there, or else we got issues too. So that's the update. Potatoes are looking great. They've gotten watered nice and deep, and they're all coming up, so happy with that. But these things that are just transplanted, you make sure they stay moist until they root properly. All right, that's the update.